Díríbar fad agus tá fáilte romh isteach an gcéad chlár de chuid na sreatha seo maidir le Ranganna Oíche Ghaelchultúir agus is mise Seán Ó Catháin tagascóir an seo le Gaelchultúir. So hello everybody, and you are all very welcome to the first program in the series about Gaelchultúir's evening classes. My name is Seán Ó Catháin and I'm a teacher here with Gaelchultúir. Agus an sprucha tális na chláircha seo ná an pobalachar an eolais hí ná Ranganna Oíche agus daoine spreag leis an Gaeilge a ólam nó fiabhs a chur go scileanna na teanga. So the aim of these programs is just to inform you about our evening classes and to inspire you perhaps to learn the language or to improve upon your language skills. And mar bhfuil an tám agat sa níis féchant an aglah seo nuair an sesiún eolais ar fad, bé an físeán seo siúil ar leanach Facebook, leanach Facebook Ghaelchultúir ar bálín beag. So if it happens that you don't have the time to watch the full interview or information session, this video will be available on Gaelchultúir's Facebook page later on. Agus an dardal síos má cheapan tú gomach spéis ag aon duine bhfuil aithne agat sa níos an áirithe seo, den éon í chlibáil hís sa bhosca hís faoin bhíseán seo. So if you think that anyone you would know would be interested in this particular video, make sure to tag them just below this video here. And an trí rud an seo ná má ein cheist agad dromsa, ná bíoh drogel iad chur sa bhosca hís freisin agus duine se iirecht iad ragart ag deire an chláir. So if you have any questions for myself, please don't hesitate to write them in the comments just below and I'll answer them at the very, very end of the program. Okay, so Maidir leis an Ranganna Oíche an seo le Gaelchultúir. Curfar tús le cuas an airí an teachtain dar tosach an tríú láid a bhí Feabhra, agus beidh na Ranganna ar fáil an seo maiile á clia agus i gcathairlach chomá. Freastalóidh na ranfortaithe ar rang amháin sa teachtain idir 7 chlog go dtí 9 chlog ar feite seachtainní. So the spring course will commence on the weeks beginning the 3rd of February of 2020, and classes will be available here in Dublin City and in Carlow. So participants will attend one class per week between 7 and 9 p.m. for the course of 10 weeks. Okay? Agus dechaná leis na Ranganna tá agin an seo an Gaelchultúir bíonn an bhéim ar labhairt na Gaeilge seachas ar an léamh ná ar an teanga scríofa. So the emphasis in Gaelchultúir's classes is more so on the speaking of Irish rather than reading or writing per se. Agus cuirtear levéil ar fáil ag gach levéil cumis, mar hampla tá Ranganna agin ag 7 levéil éagsúile le cinnte go mbeidh an rang ar bhreastalóidh tusa air díreach ceart chluite. Okay, so in terms of the variety of classes, there are classes to suit all levels of ability. So we have classes at 7 different levels, and this ensures that the class you choose will suit your level of competency. Okay? Agus ó híh an ábhar de tá ábhar an sco agin seo an Gaelchultúir agus tá pleananna ceachta cuimseach agam leis gael agus achhaní tagas den sco curtha le chéile agin de gach cuasa agus de gach levéil. So in terms of class materials, here at Gaelchultúir it's first class material we have here. We've developed comprehensive lesson plans and first class teaching resources for every course and at every level. In terms of learning resources then, ó híh achhaní luachar takeíochta, tugtar leabhar nótaí agus bíonn fáil agat ar ábhar takeíochta ar líne. So bei fáil ar chóirsa ar líne sa Gaeilge an Stró ar ranganna.com, ar feadh mísa agus chuir seo go mór le do chud fólama. So in terms of valuable support resources, students are given a booklet of notes and access to online content. So you'll have access to one online course in the series Gaeilge an Stró, which is on ranganna.com for 1 month, and this should greatly add to your general learning experience here at Gaelchultúir. Agus bíonn sé mar spruc agin na gcónaí mar rúntarí na fólamóir gom leis a chur ar suaimhneas agus an winine na hort roib leis an Gaeilge a labhairt. Okay, so we try our best here as teachers here at Gaelchultúir to kind of cultivate a relaxed atmosphere. So our teachers always aim to make learners feel at ease and to give them confidence to speak Irish. And that is about it in terms of the general breakdown of how things work here. So if you have any questions that might run through, feel free to type them just below here. Nikki, tá ceist Nikki anseo agus baranse le price na Ranganna Oíche anseo. So Nikki has a question here in relation to the price of the classes. So tá price €250 na Ranganna Oíche anseo. Tá gachud san áras sa freisin ach amháin má tú ag freastal chruinneas a haon. Crunneas a haon sin an rang is airde atá agin anseo in Ghaelchultúir. Agus an rang áirithe sin by Uri an leabhar gramadach gan stro a cheannacht sa chéad rang chustas €50. Okay. So for those who are inquiring about price, the night classes cost €220. Everything is included in terms of materials, except for those at the level Cruinne Hain, which is the highest class we have. For those particular students, they'll have to buy the grammar book, Gramadach gan stro, which costs €20 at the very, very beginning of the course in the first class. Okay, gur magadh de sin, Nikki. Tá ceistíocht takeíteach anseo ó Lia. Agus current sin ceis, how do I choose the most appropriate level to undertake? Okay, ceistwa. So if you're not sure what level of competency in Irish you have, you can drop into our education centre here on 11 Clare Street in Dublin 2, and one of our teachers will be available to assess your proficiency in the language and over the course of the last week in January. Okay, so this assessment is free of charge and it'll take approximately 15 minutes depending on the student and depending on the level. There's no need to book in advance, so you can call into us between the hours of 6 and 7 p.m. on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th of January 2020. Okay, so that means assessment 1 will take place between 6 and 7 on Tuesday the 28th. Assessment 2 will take place between 6 and 7 again on Wednesday the 29th of January, and then the last assessment is assessment 3, which will also take place between 6 and 7 p.m. on Thursday the 30th of January. Okay, gur magadh sin, Leah. Nis tá ceistíocht takeíteach anseo ó Valerie agus deir si nó chuirn sin cheist chunas gur féidir chlár na Ranganna Oíche. Okay. So chun chlár don na Ranganna Oíche, catha tú chlár Feabhra Ghaelchultúir. So Ghaelchultúir.com, chláiríonn tú an sin. Brú Ranganna Oíche Gaeilge choimhíle sa fiche. Híomh na láimh clé an híomh gréasáin an sin, nó híomh an lenach baile, agus feic tú na level fad go meisceil agus na lénta éagsúile a bhfuil na cuasaí áreachtáil agin. Okay, gur magadh sin, Valerie. Tá ceist eile takeíteach anseo ó Áine agus chuirn sin cheist. I did high level Irish for the Leaving Cert. What would be the most appropriate level for me? Agus an rud bhil hin an sin Áine, what I would recommend Áine there would be to call into our education centre on either the 28th, the 29th, or the 30th of January between 6 and 7 to have your Irish level assessed. Now there's also an option to complete an online test to determine your competency in the Irish language. So this is available again on Ghaelchultúir's website, on their homepage in the orange box. Okay, gur magadh sin Áine. And Pat also has a question here. Pat asks, can I sample a class before I register? I guess Pat, yes, you may. in essence. Ghaelchultúir will be running an event called A Taste of Irish on Saturday, the 25th of January in our centre here on 11 Clare Street, Dublin 2. So you can drop into us between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. and from there we'll assess your standard of Irish, okay? So once the assessment has been completed, you'll have an opportunity to attend a 20-minute Irish class, which will give you some sort of idea as to the teaching approach we use, and that's about it, okay? Oh, Anya here has another question. Anya asks here, how much homework is involved? So in terms of homework, Anya, there's no homework involved. You might be happy to hear. All students will be registered on our e-learning portal called Ranganna.com, and they'll have access to interactive exercises to help them practice. So there are also sound recordings available to get over or to go over key phrases from previous classes, which works as a great learning resource once you finish or once you leave the classroom environment. Gur míle mágad Anya. Agus tá ceistúach tací seachtain seo ó orla freisin ar si go bhfuil gaeilge lífa eici ach go bhaith leihí bar feabhs a chur ar a chuid gaeilge amach cruinne sa haon airnach de fan go bheice minis. Well, tá rang cruinne sa haon díortha ar siúdúil gaeilge leabhar an anmha acu ach nach chfuil ró ólach ar ghramanach na teanga. So dírítar ar bhun chun cheappa de chuid na gramadaí agus féachtar le scin léthreachta agus scríbhneachta na ranfortia a Herbert. So bantar úsáid as ábhar dílis agus nuair derm sin an rud tá gceist ná cinál ailt as irisí nó ailt nuachtáin mar hampla. Agus bín réimse le an gníomhachtaí gceist leis freisin. Tá sé an airnach dómh siúd tá gobar trí bheanna gaeilge mar hampla, daoine tá gobar sa Start Service mar hampla na múntóirí ach go háirithe. So féidir tú bualadh seachtain seo orla ag an ionad éidechais tá agin an seo in Ghaelchultúir ag deir na mísa seo le tuaim níos fearr áil ar an leibhéal is fearcha tain. Okay, gur maith sin orla. Agus tá míle fáilte rócht Anya. Rud go bhána luhan hain, and one more thing I might mention in terms of class levels and competency is that should it happen that you choose the incorrect level, you might wonder if there's an opportunity or an option as such to switch levels should you find one level too easy or too difficult. So in that particular case, what I would suggest is to notify the teacher as soon as you can. Should you feel like you've chosen the incorrect level, and what we do here, we try our best to accommodate everyone, so we'll try to facilitate any change should the need arise. Agus go bunúsachta mai ceapa gur b'né. So that's I think that's all we have for this evening. Ach by misrás an tachtain se thugann agus chuir me aglah ar iarmhaicléinn dár goods le blaise a thuirt ríbse ar haithí an ólamóra. Okay, so kun you súla meán hóisiilta an our Facebook don ólas a fad don tachtain tá amach roin. So I'll be back next week and I'll be interviewing a former student of ours to give you a taster of a learner's experience here at Ghaelchultúir. So just keep an eye on our social media pages for all that information. Agus gur míle maithagaí as súlachah ar seo ar fad agus but ma can't leave an tachtain se hugging. So very, very grateful and many thanks for tuning in this evening, and I will see you again next Tuesday, hopefully, so that I'll give you a taster into life as a student here at Ghaelchultúir. So gur míle maithagaí, rís beocht tróna mór maithagaí agus slán go fóill.